Welcome once again to our news tonight at 10 o'clock. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango, and straight into the bulletin. But first, let's have the headlines. In our top stories, all is set for Heroes Day celebrations in Luwero district. In Kampala, government to terminate delayed contracts in Kampala city. And in court, judge declines to hear Ham's administrative application in the case against DTB. And into the news, President Museveni has announced that he has tested positive for COVID-19 and will be entering self-isolation as a protective measure. The president says he experienced mild flu-like symptoms, prompting him to undergo testing, which confirmed the diagnosis. Despite being cautious and adhering to preventive measures, Museveni assured the public that his symptoms remain mild and that he is in good health. However, he stressed the importance of caution and self-isolation. Prime Minister Robina Nabanja has been delegated to represent the president at tomorrow's Heroes Day celebrations in Luwero. The president says this marks only the second time in 53 years he has taken forced leave, the first being during the fight against Idi Amin in 1971. He expressed gratitude to the well-wishers, receiving the well-wishes, and extended his blessings to Ugandans. Prime Minister Robina Nabanja has expressed concerns over the increasing road carnage in the country that continues to claim lives. According to the latest traffic report, over 3,000 fatal accidents are recorded on a monthly basis in the country.
Nabanja says that as a result of increasing road carnage, government is introducing strong laws to deal with road crash offenders. She says that government has worked on roads, but the public has remained reckless while on road.
Accident ekumisatu ezikuita abantu ayi buli mwezi. Engudo tuzikozire nungi baitu kandi zikuleta ki accident. Hati tukubasaba abanyakakumiru abanyakoko kwegendesereza.
Nabanja appeals to all road users to desist from drink driving and the use of narcotics that compromise their sense of judgment.
Bakunywa omwenge bagenda pikipiki. Abokuba ono musajja tiyanywaga mwenge. Bakunywa omwenge bagenda mu motoka kuvuga. Tufuyirirwa abantu baingi abobulaga ijavu. So nkwenda kubasaba abanyakakumiru n'abantu bahanuka Museveni nti amalwaro ga kukora betu ga kukora naiwe ogenzire kara.
Nabanja says that the NRM government has equipped all referral hospitals and appealed to the public to seek for health services early.
Amalwaro ga government agaitwa ga government omumulembe gwa Museveni n'ogwa Nabanja guno tugatekeremu ebyoma. We have equipped all our referral hospitals and the national specialized hospital. Abasawo bano basaba kunjulira mubende kwe yali ne kweri nati. So tukubasaba kugenda omwirwaro mugende kara otaguniriza.
Haruna Kasolo, the Minister of State in charge of microfinance, cautioned Ugandans against taking President Yoweri Museveni for granted, but rather treasure in him. Kasolo gave the example of Manchester United, which parted ways with Sir Alex Ferguson, but have struggled since then.
Kati mwe bannayuganda Ferguson waffe omutamuveeko muwoza Ferguson akaddi bwe mutava ku Ferguson mujja tukubya emipiira. Ferguson waffe mumutegedde yani.
Reverend Father Robert Butcher, who led the Requiem Mass, asked the public to work hard for eternal life, but first begin with the world. Father Butcher says that God loves hardworking people who can also support his work through the support of the clergy.
So tukwetaaga kwekamba kukora baita ekintu kusinga kukolerera niko kukolerera embeera etabwaho omuyiguru. Amina.
The son to the late Walakira, Paul Waswa, spoke on behalf of the children and lauded their father for supporting them in all spheres. The Prime Minister thanked President Yoweri Museveni for the condolence message and contribution of 10 million shillings towards burial expenses. Late Walakira died at the age of 63 and is survived by a widow, children and grandchildren.
Now, the Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja, has met a delegation of investors from the United Arab Emirates, UAE, and discussed potential investment opportunities in the country with special focus on Luwero Triangle. While chairing the meeting, Nabanja told the investors that Uganda is an investment hub with support from the head of state and all other government agencies. As we hear more in this report.
Prime Minister Robina Nabanja has disclosed to a delegation of investors from the United Arab Emirates that Uganda has ready fruits and vegetables that are originally produced, only awaiting value addition. She says that farmers are making losses because of lack of post-harvest storage, especially the cold chain.
They want to invest in food processing, and the president is looking at how to expand the airport and have cold rooms worked on, so that and also have a factory. They want a factory to process fruits so they can export these fruits because the market is there.
Ministers including that of Finance, Matia Kasaija, Trade, Mwebesa Francis, Bwino Chakulaga, briefed the investors of the conducive investment environment in the country.
We are ready. We are ready to show you where you could put the investment, and we shall give you all the support that you need. Something you don't understand, we shall explain to you, so that this partnership really grows.
And what we are lacking is really partnership or coordination in regards to financing and also the technical know-how to make our part. We have a few factories which are already started.
On agroforestry, apart from planting trees, we could also exploit existing plantations. For example, we are planning to put up 110,000 hectares of oil palm.
The head of the delegation, Sheikh Muhammad bin Maktoum, says that they are ready to start investment in agroforest, food and food processing, and gold refinery.
It's an investment, it's a business perspective, but at the same time, it's a support for the nation, it's a support for the country, it's a support for the people, it's support for everyone. We are among our family. We are not strangers, and we are not coming to strangers. We are coming to a family over here. And that's why we are looking for support for everyone, and we believe on each single person, whether from a labor to the minister, to the leader, to the president, everyone.
We're required to grow, so we found out today that you have a plan to grow an additional 110,000 hectares of oil palm. Ourselves, we wanted to grow bamboo, and with talks with His Excellency the President, we understand that he's very keen for a paper factory.
Yes.
We have already done our full feasibility, we've already done the sourcing of product, and the factory details. So we would be very keen to also grow bamboo in Uganda.
The team will tomorrow visit several areas in Luwero and Nakasongola districts to assess the availability of raw materials. There, especially fruits. The meeting was attended by technical staff from Uganda Investment Authority led by Dr. Edward Mukiza, the Director General, and other ministers.
Of course, and tourism. He was talking about tourism.
Now, President Museveni opened the third session of the 11th Parliament at State of the Nation address in Kololo. He stressed the crucial role of security in fostering a favorable business environment and highlighting the government efforts to bolster security to address emerging threats. He called on the Turkana community to cease bringing firearms in the country.
President Yoweri Museveni assured the country visitors that the security situation is peaceful despite isolated cases of misuse of firearms. Government is actively strengthening security forces to handle emerging security threats and address issues of discipline while enhancing security infrastructure and welfare.
Of security personnel in the Uganda People's Defense Force and the Uganda Police and Uganda prisons.
The president commended security agencies for maintaining a secure atmosphere during the Martyrs' Day celebrations, as no reports of terror threats were reported. However, about 140 were apprehended for petty crimes during the event.
The ability to manage a huge pre-announced event while the terrorists are still running around in neighboring countries such as Congo, Somalia, etc., demands salutations to our security personnel, weaknesses here and there notwithstanding.
Addressing the issue of cross-border security, President Museveni demanded that the Turukanas from Kenya immediately cease entering Uganda with firearms if they wish to remain in the country.
But we shall do it. They will stop, otherwise they even killed our geologists. 3 of our geologists were killed. I want those who killed the geologists to be brought back. They brought back the guns, but not the killers. I want the killers.
In the Usalama kwa Wote disarmament operation, a significant number of firearms, ammunition and stolen livestock were recovered and returned to their rightful owners. Although Uganda and Kenya signed an agreement for concurrent disarmament operations, there have been reports of mistakes and corruption during the exercise.
The corrupt elements in the army that stole the money of the vigilantes will be punished. And so will all the corrupt that undermined the total peace we had achieved in Karamoja between 2007 and 2018. Because 2007 2018 was total peace in Karamoja. Everybody agrees. Then what happened?
The president expressed his concern regarding cattle theft by the Pokot community and urged them to refrain from such activities, warning of consequences if they continue.
What I know is Pokot are committed. Pokot are people who can say we cannot do this and they cannot. For them, once an animal is stolen, even in the kraal, you'll never see a Pokot running after it. That one is an abomination. Take me to court, I will swear it. The Pokot will have to call for an officer, either a soldier or a police. Report their my cows has been stolen, and the soldier will take action to follow. And they've been so patient in time. Every time they're impatient. And next thing they're saying, should we always go to the bush to collect the guns also? Because they're really tired.
In the ongoing offensive against the ADF in the thickets of the Democratic Republic of Congo, significant progress has been made. Since its launch in 2021, numerous weapons including SMGs, machine guns, and RPG tubes have been recovered. A substantial number of ADF combatants have been neutralized, and efforts have been made to rescue abductees and encourage defections. Uganda has also contributed forces to the regional East African Standby Force aimed at addressing security challenges arising from instability in Congo. Additionally, operations targeting the vandalism of electricity infrastructure have resulted in the arrest of 15 suspects in central Uganda.
The arrests also targeted elements within Umeme and a network of scrap dealers. The operations have since recovered over 300 tons of assorted electricity equipment. This vandalism is done by haters of the NRM-inspired progress in Uganda. They don't want to see progress. They feel very unhappy when they see these electricity wires. They thought Uganda would not come up. So we are going to be very harsh with them.
These points were highlighted during the State of the Nation address marking the opening of the third session of the 11th Parliament at Kololo in Kampala. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
The Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, has warned people over the increasing land fragmentation that is affecting environment conservation. This, she said, during an ecumenical service in memory of the fallen combatants who sacrificed their lives to liberate Uganda at St. Peter Kalasa, Makubuliyita sub-county in Luwero district. Well, we will be bringing an update of that story in our subsequent bulletin. But as we continue, the chairman of the organizing committee of this year's Heroes Day 2023, who doubles as the permanent secretary to the office of the president, Haji Yunus Kakande, has confirmed that the preparations for the D-Day are almost over. Let's hear more in this report.
Security had also been beefed up ahead of the arrival of the chief guest and president of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, the organizing committee chair and PS to the office of the president. Haji Yunus Kakande confirmed the event is to be held at the grounds of Kasala Catholic Church, where preparations for Heroes Day celebrations are in full gear.
Actually, I can say that we have finished. People are now just organizing this tent, seating arrangements and putting their rebels where people will say that this is for ministers, this is for members of parliament, this is for religious leaders, this is for veterans. So that's what now they're finalized, and some minor decorations.
Haji Kakande says the event will involve the commissioning of 35-kilometer Luwero Butalangwa road for tamaking.
That road is going to be commissioned from, as I told you, from Luwero to Butalangwa. Butalangwa is in Wachatu.
While speaking to the residents of Balichejosa Market in Luwero district, they outlined some challenges they face seeking for presidential intervention. The administrator in the office of the national chairman who visited the locals in Luwero, Hajati Nachimuli, encouraged them to work with the NRM government for the development of Luwero Triangle. A total of 51 people will be recognized tomorrow with medal awards. I'm Nafka Farida and Mingo Joseph.
Operation Shuja Commander Major General Dick Olum has engaged the Congolese community in a move to drum support for the Operation Shuja joint military operation against the ADF in North Kivu and Ituri in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo.
This is Kaluruma formerly Allied Democratic Forces ADF camp and hideout. Trading centers remain the only lifeline for the Congolese because of the presence of UPDF troops guarding civilians who left their villages due to the ADF insurgencies. Where there is UPDF, Congolese move freely and business is as usual. The joint forces in Sector 3 have begun conducting regular meetings with Congolese local chiefs and civic leaders to discount hostile enemy propaganda against the forces.
Sisi wote tunalala usalama, tunaona security kabisa haiko sawa mbele, tunaanza pumua mzuri.
Vuka kamba lakini maji inachukua kabisa. Sasa wewe iko na bido. Unavuka hii maji hapa na bido iko mchezo. Maana yake kuna motera ambao wanafanya nini? Wanatumia.
Operation Soja Command designed a mechanism to always hold regular meetings to gather intelligence about the enemy.
Activities to the Congo, to the Congolese people. For example, because we believe we are a people's force back in Uganda, and now we are in Congo, operating with the Congolese military, we tend to transfer all these attributes of the UPDF into the people of Congo through the joint operation with the militaries of Congo.
These meetings clearly help people to know what the forces are doing and how the communities can be of help in addressing security challenges.
Mjipige tochi ndani. Waangalie nani mwenye bado anapatana na adui. Yaani hiyo information mlete mpatie wakuu ya paradisi, na yeye mtapatia, yeye tunawasaidia. Tuko pamoja.
Shima bashirikali aribia ba ver loba tulanda kwa cheko bandeke. Twabere kwanza humula omubwino bwetu mwaha erishika mukaruruma.
Indeed, these meetings have yielded good results, cultivated rapport on the daily basis. This has eased the work of intelligence gathering. Often those who have returned to the villages report back information to designated Operation Soja Forward Base in communities.
No way we shall get the Congolese people suffering without medical, without water, yet we have them in our custody, in our ability to use them. There's no way we shall leave the Congolese people suffer during accidents, during incursions by the ADF, and we don't take them for treatment, either back in Fort Poto or even in Buya in our military hospitals. So we carry with us the UPDF attributes of a people's army.
Haruna Mutesa reporting for UBS News in Eastern Congo.
Now, the federal government of Somalia and the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia have reaffirmed their commitment to facilitate a smooth transfer of security responsibilities to Somalia's security forces in line with Somali transition plan, as we hear more in this report.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wafiante. ATMIS and the SNA. So our commitment to implementing the transfer of security responsibilities to the Somali security forces in line with the Somali transition plan and the relevant UN Security Council resolutions. In this regard, ATMIS has finalized plans to commence the drawdown of 2,000 troops, which must be done by the end of this month. We had the opportunity to hold fruitful discussion with the European Union on a range of issues. I have full confidence in the capabilities of the Somali security forces. The SNA has over the last 1 year shown growing ability to conduct military operations against the terrorist group. I wish to sincerely commend the leadership of His Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud in ensuring force generation as well as bringing on board various segments of the Somali public in the fight against Al-Shabaab.
warbixinta toddobaadlaha ee maanta dabcan waxa ugu horeeya dawladda federaalka Soomaaliya ay muhiimadda siinaysaa waa amniga sida loo socotaana waxa socda howlgallada lagu as you all know there are ongoing operations to eliminate Al-Shabaab in many parts of the country. In addition, the second part of the operation led by the federal government of Somalia is expected to start soon. A breaking news we just received says that the Somali government forces are battling or combating militants of Al-Shabaab who try to carry out an attack in Baladul Amin in Lower Shabelle region in the southwest state of Somalia.
Away from pacifying into KCC supplier, government has threatened to work with donors to terminate contracts of road contractors who will seek for extension when their contract period has elapsed. While speaking at the closing of the third KCCA Suppliers Conference, State Minister for Kampala, Chofa Togavye, urged contractors to stop deliberate delays since it affects the plan of construction and maintenance of roads in Kampala.
Kampala Capital City Authority and PPDA have engaged suppliers on the impact of the PPDA Amendment Act 2003 that has revised statutory timelines to make procurement a bit shorter. State Minister for Kampala, Chofa Togavye, advised KCCA to prioritize health and saving lives under the social aspect of sustainable procurement, contrary to the Lord Mayor Elias Lukwago.
Please, myopic leaders, let us open our eyes. This is life. Don't play with the lives of the people. If condoms are going to cost 600 million, let so be. I'm saving lives.
No, you see, in your bills of quantities, where you put there 600 million plus for condoms. Oh, it's all over. And then they say, you see, the thinking, ADB and our development partners, this shouldn't be used to doing. We have very serious issues.
Kabuye urged suppliers to avoid illegalities while implementing the projects to ensure they deliver to the agreed timelines and avoid dragging KCCA to courts of law.
Here he has about 6 roads in a certain road, and up to now, work is still at 20%, and he's applying for another job. That is greediness. Then he starts delaying. Tomorrow he's suing KCCA. Which kind of friendship are you building? Find these Mickey Waters, Muhammad, help me out. And we sort this. I will call you and say, please, African Development Bank, come here. We explore the opportunity of termination. Because really we can't delay. We want to do more roads.
The Executive Director KCCA, Dorothy Chisaka, attributes the delays in procurement to bureaucracy. However, Lukwago says amendment of the PPDA Act will minimize this problem but not eliminate it, urging suppliers to build capacity.
When I see contractors getting off the sites because payments have delayed, why don't you build the capacity to be able to supply us and wait for whatever time you can wait?
Local contractors miss out on big contracts, and this is attributed to lack of financial capacity, professional expertise and operating individually.
Doing business is becoming very high. Finance capital is not easy to access. And if you are to go to even commercial banks, it's even worse. I know those dynamics. But that's no excuse for you to remain a small entity. Think out of the box. Be as innovative as possible.
How many locals are employed and how much is retained? 90% of the employment will be locals, 95% of the finances will go to the mother sort of farm. And that is not fair to us. But how did we get out? Because we didn't have the financial muscle of the turnover. Because
the banks are to also come up with rated criteria for international bidding to achieve value for money. However, government requests banks to come up with a certain percentage for international companies and come up with a shared deal for local companies.
From September, we will have what we call rated criteria and bank bidding for all procurements that follow international competitive bidding. Now, rated criteria is kind of an evaluation that that aims to bring out more the value for money aspect.
I'm Nafka Farida and Stephen Kalisia in Kampala.
Well, from the mayor's mouth, think outside the box and try to be more innovative as you can. Now, Uganda's envoy to South Africa, Paul Amuro, has said that the government will work with the South African envoy to ensure that Ugandans living in South Africa will always enjoy their pilgrimage for Martyrs Day celebrations. He was speaking at the Martyrs Day celebrations in Jeroa, Johannesburg, South Africa.
Catholics in South Africa have celebrated Martyrs Day with a sweet procession attended by pilgrims from 7 provinces, including East London, Limpopo, Northern Cape, Krugersdorp, and others, as a symbol of celebrating the martyrs who died for their faith. The pilgrimage was conducted at St. Mary Great Church with a mass led by Bishop Buti Joseph Thagari, Archbishop of the Diocese of Johannesburg. In his preaching, Bishop Joseph commended Ugandans in South Africa for upholding their faith by celebrating the martyrs. Ugandan ambassador to South Africa, Paul Amuro, said there will be an arrangement for Ugandans in South Africa to also participate in the pilgrimage to Namugongo.
These celebrations, we will now take the opportunity, Your Grace, to formally inform the government of Uganda and indeed the management of the Namugongo shrine, so that our celebrations will also be officially recognized. But above all, we'll also need to see many visitors from here in South Africa traveling to Namugongo.
He urged Ugandans in South Africa to sacrifice and endure hardships they are going through so that they can achieve victory based on the courage shown by the martyrs.
It serves as a reminder of the religious freedom we enjoy today and the sacrifices made by those who came before us. This day also promotes unity among Ugandans, respective of their religious affiliations, fostering a sense of togetherness and respect for our diverse beliefs.
He also urged them to be obedient to the laws of the country in which they live so that they can develop themselves and Uganda at large. Wycliffe Mudachi compiled the story for UBC News.
Ebiseera by'okuzzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu, kano kalippagano ka bidduka. Simanyi kuzunga na banka siripusi? Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu ya Uganda.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
Their support meant so much to me, and as a teenage girl, I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
Dear Airtel customer, we know that there are days when unexpected stays in hospital stand in the way of your family's welfare. That is why Hospital Center is here to give you up to 100,000 shillings every night you spend in hospital. Hospital Center also offers up to 4 million in funeral benefit. Dial *185*7*6# to purchase Hospital Center on Airtel Money for as little as 1,000, 3,000 or 5,000 shillings a month. Your cover for the first 1 month is free. Hospital Center is underwritten by Prudential and powered by Turaco. Prudential and Turaco are regulated by the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda. Airtel Money is regulated by the Bank of Uganda.
The Ministry of Health will conduct yellow fever preventive mass vaccination campaign for all persons aged 9 months up to 60 years. These people should have never been vaccinated against yellow fever. The yellow fever campaign will be conducted in phases, with the first phase covering districts in the regions of Arua, Gulu, Lira, Kabare, Kabarore, and Hoima. The campaign will begin on the 9th of June and end on the 13th of June 2023 and will be conducted in all government health facilities and outreach posts. All parents and caregivers are requested to take their children aged 9 months to the nearest health facility and outreach posts to get vaccinated against yellow fever disease. All adults aged up to 60 years but have never been vaccinated should go to health facilities and vaccination outreach posts to get vaccinated against yellow fever. Ministry of Health calls upon everybody to report any person who presents with signs and symptoms such as yellowing of eyes, fever, headache, muscle pain, feeling of vomiting or nausea, vomiting, and general body weakness or fatigue to the nearest health facility or health worker immediately for medical attention. This could be yellow fever. Yellow fever vaccine is a single dose given once in a lifetime. The yellow fever vaccine is safe, effective, and free. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from Gavi and partners.
Uganda's oil and gas projects are providing opportunities for international certification and employment in various disciplines. 12,000 Ugandans have received global oil industry training and international certification in welding, heavy goods vehicle driving, and scaffolding, among others. 6 public and private institutions have received international accreditation and certification from industry bodies such as City and Guilds, ECITB, OPITO, AWS, and NEBOSH. 250 government officers from various ministries and agencies have trained in oil and gas related disciplines such as petroleum engineering, geosciences, law and economics. 71,300 Ugandans are currently employed in the sector. The National Oil and Gas Talent Register provides visibility to Ugandans with skills and competencies for possible employment in the oil and gas sector. Registration is free. The Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
Welcome back from that short break, and as we continue, chaos has ensued in the Supreme Court in Kampala as businessman James Chigundu demanded to be heard in his application he filed in the case where he is seeking to recover 120 billion shillings from Diamond Trust Bank, Uganda and Kenya. The case, which is pending judgment, will be heard soon.
In filing this application, Ms. Chigundu, represented by his lawyer Fred Muema, discovered that when the appeal was pending judgment before Supreme Court, DTB Uganda and DTB Kenya had introduced new grounds. Following this, they asked court to be given judgment on admission. Chigundu was of the view that, since in the new grounds, DTB lawyers admit that their client operated in Uganda without a license as required under Financial Institute Act. Then the 120 billion was fraudulently withdrawn from his account. However, when the parties appeared at Supreme Court before Justice Elizabeth Musoke for pre-trial hearing, DTB lawyers led by Edward Karugire asked court not to hear the application, that it was overtaken by events.
It's an application that was filed after the submissions had been made by the respondent. So both the applicant and respondent had made their submissions.
Karugire told court that justices retired to write the judgment. With this, there is no way court can hear this application. Pending the judgment, Fred Muema Chigundu's lawyer objected, saying DTB's prayers were invalid on grounds that they had come for an administrative hearing but not the main suit.
Submission, the court directed parties when we appeared, because the respondent was raising certain new grounds. So when we received the submissions is when we realized that they had admitted the appeal.
However, trouble came when Justice Elizabeth Musoke informed Ms. Chigundu's lawyers that nothing much would be yield from the application, since the judgment in the main appeal is ready. Come 13th June 2023.
The panel went ahead and prepared the judgment based on whatever they had.
Why would the court call us for pre-hearing to determine filing and format? And we wouldn't even be listed if the court has taken the position that this matter is already just waiting for judgment. The reason the court put us on the list as number one for pre-hearing is because the court recognizes that for 1.5 years it has been sitting with an application.
As a result, Ms. Chigundu stormed outside court, followed by his supporters, who caused chaos at court. Court resumed after some minutes, with Ms. Chigundu whispering to his lawyer, but Justice Elizabeth Musoke ordered him to stop, and he had this to say back to her.
It's a public interest case. Everybody knows about it. So, I don't know. That's not my brief. My brief is to argue law here.
A point of information, I'm Muslim and friend, and I know that I have a right to hear you.
You have a right to be heard, but you are talking through your player. Please.
So that the hooligans
But advise him, that's not the way to handle court matters. Okay? By bringing hooligans to shout in court, that will not influence me. I'm not part of the panel.
Justice Elizabeth Musoke, however, insisted that the judgment would be delivered. However, it was sad to be swallowed by Muwema, who insisted to meet the Chief Justice.
Tetulwana na government twagala bwenkanya mulekewo banka ezitukiriza amateeka naye tufiiriddwa ekimala.
Muna Uganda yenza kukola kikola bwekiti ng'akikola mu nsi ya Bulaaya. Lwaki ffe abaffe banyigirizibwa?
After court, Ms. Chigundu's supporters were seen outside court premises carrying prayer cards, protesting the proceedings of court. Ms. Chigundu addressed the media, however, he was not happy with the way court has handled this matter.
At the Supreme Court, Karujire, out of normal procedure, requested to make additional submissions in regard to national interest. He said, even if the issue of legality was never substantially addressed at Court of Appeal, if the case is decided in the affirmative in the interest of harm, it would have a far-reaching interest on the foreign exploitative banks. Karujire and DTB had admitted on court record.
The main suit between Ms. Chigundu and DTB Bank is presided over by Chief Justice Alfonso Winyidolo, Justice Faith Mwonda, Pasinite Tuhaise, and Justice Mike Chibita. Deborah Namamonde, Susan Nabogode, UBC News.
Now still in court, the former Court of Appeal Judge Professor George Wilson Kanyehamba has vowed to sue Amazon Company in the international courts of law for illegally publishing his books without his consent. Let's hear more in this report.
There are over 8 books, among others: Constitution and Political History of Uganda, Commentaries on Law, Politics and Governance, Unmitigated Human Wisecracks of All Seasons, and Urban Planning Law in East Africa, which were written by the former Court of Appeal Justice, Professor George Wilson Kanyehamba. Professor Kanyehamba, on several occasions, has wrote books. None of these books have been on sale. However, recently he saw his books being published by Amazon Company, an American leading publication. Professor George Wilson Kanyehamba says these 8 books have been published by Amazon Company without his consent, and attempts to know how they acquired the permission to publish them remains futile.
There is a man who said he will publish my books. He's called Mashadia. He's a Kenyan. I gave him 1 manuscript which he published. That is a little book called The Unmitigated Humor, Cracks and the Jokes. Then every book ever since I have published it myself. So suddenly about 10 years ago, about 8 years ago, I started seeing my books appearing on Amazon.
It's against this backdrop that retired Justice Professor George Wilson Kanyeihamba vows to sue Amazon company to the International Court of Arbitration for publishing his books without his consent.
So we are not going. We want to settle out of court. And I think Mr. Kabanushe, who is there, I told him that, and he agrees. We are going to sue them for billions.
So if Raw Africa put his books in Amazon, me, I'm no longer Raw Africa. You need to ask Raw Africa for the proceeds of the books that they have sold, either hard copies or through Amazon. And in any case, I want to believe they have been paying him royalties and giving him statements where they have sold the books, just like we did.
However, Kanyeihamba acknowledges to have held talks with the one Masharia Panamarin, alleged to be an employee of Amazon, to see how his books can be published by Amazon, but they never entered any consent or agreement with him to publish his books.
They said Masharia was working for Amazon, so you should not sue Masharia. You should sue the culprit itself, which is Amazon. For an African Ugandan man to have the legal authority to sue the greatest company in the world.
It is the company that uploaded that book called Unmitigated Humor. He wrote to Amazon, and it was removed from Amazon. It is not there. So the rest of the books that he is claiming that I am the one who uploaded them, I would need proof, because I have never touched them. I don't know them.
He now wants Amazon company to pay him.
Those books will be there, 8 of them on Amazon forever.
Deborah Namamonde, Susan Nabogodde, UBC News.
Now, as we cross over to Luwero, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Nabbanja, has warned people over the increasing land fragmentation that is affecting environmental conservation. Now, this happened during an ecumenical service in memory of the fallen combatants who sacrificed their lives to liberate Uganda.
Ahead of Heroes Day, set to be commemorated in Luwero district, families of the Bush War veterans have appealed to government to construct a memorial hospital at each memorial ground as an appreciation for those who shed their blood for the liberation of the country. This was during the memorial service for the fallen veterans who sacrificed their lives to liberate Uganda, held at St. Peter, Church of Uganda, Kalasa, Luwero district.
Chata wange yattibwa netaga assistance netaga baganda bange bave mu mbeera gye balimu naffe tubeeko obulungi. Haji Naduli yampandikira ebbaluwa n'asindika mu ofisi ya Minisita Luwero Triangle, mwalimu wa Minisita Katayike. Neebaza nnyo Haji Naduli kubanga tewankalubiriza neyanze.
Ensonga ezo ezaakolebwa mwe muli democracy, unity, sustainable economy, make city economy eno ekigere bekiba kigenda mbasoso ya sitinga ekibalina kirungi tukirete ono capitalism wabanga ayina ekirungi tukirete bekiba kibi tukigireki.
The Prime Minister Robin Nabbanja was represented by the third Deputy Prime Minister Rukia Nakadama and warned people against land fragmentation.
I urge families to desist from fragmenting land and use their small pieces of land to grow high-value crops for socio-economic transformation.
The Prime Minister assured the people of Luwero that government has not forgotten about them.
As you are aware, His Excellency the President set up the Ministry of Luwero Renzori in the Office of the Prime Minister to address the socio-economic effects of NRA Liberation War 1981 to 86. And Allied Democratic Forces, ADF, insurgency, which disrupted development in these areas.
The State Minister for Luwero, Renzori Triangle, Alice Kaboyo, advised all leaders in Luwero to be united.
okusinga nnyo abakulembeze. Twetaaga ideas, twetaaga okukwatira awamu tulabe nti ebimu tuyinza okubikola nga tetulinze gavumenti okubikola.
I thank the minister who thought about this, because ever since this government came into existence, people have been with ministers, but they had never invited us for such a function. So that means this minister has done a lot to bring this on board.
The preacher, Constantino Mbonabanji, was concerned about the situation of mass grave at church and appealed to the line ministry to rehabilitate.
Ningenda nendaba malalo akabantu abiri mu batano abafira wano mu butuufu kafaanana bubi kibi mu butuufu kafaanana bubi mazima abantu bana Uganda bonna twamula obusawo bwa seneti nga bonna okukola malalo ago agalimu abantu abiri mu batano kibi maama kinumye
ngogede ku marara agali awo agalabika obubi. Waliwo enteekateeka gavumenti eyina enteekateeka ey'okubajjawo wano kubatwala awantu awamu. Amalaalo gali 30 okwetooloola ebitundu bino byonna. Mass graves ziri 34. Kizibu nnyo okuzirabirira zonna.
Some of the members of parliament pledged support to Luwero district.
Yes, people died, but we ushered in a new government of President Museveni that has restored the rule of law, democracy, respect of human rights, which did not, because some of these people were killed in the church. So in Uganda now there is freedom of worship, different denomination with no issues. And two, it's a reflection. If people really died in those days, what are we doing now as a country, as Uganda?
If you are there, you are a family of veterans, please join the groups. Join the groups at the village level, join the groups at the parish level, join the groups at the sub-county level, so that you can benefit. The government of Uganda may not help you as an individual. They want to help the groups, they want to help people to make sure you fight poverty.
In attendance was the Minister for Energy, Ruth Nankabirwa, War Veteran Brigadier General Jacob Asimwi, among other dignitaries. I'm Nafka Farida and Andrew Sebida.
The Ministry of Health is piloting a new initiative to fight malaria in Uganda titled Household Champion, against malaria in the new strategy brought on board by the Ministry of Health and all the stakeholders from the household level to national level, collectively fighting malaria out of Uganda.
The Yellow Fever Preventive Mass Vaccination Campaign started by an awareness march through the streets of Lira City. Although currently no outbreak has been reported, there have been sporadic outbreaks of yellow fever since 1942. 27 countries in Africa, including Uganda, have been classified as high risk for the disease, with the recent cases recorded this year in Buikwe, Bovoma and Wakiso districts. At least 13.4 million doses of vaccines are now available for 51 high-risk districts prioritized in the first phase.
Just come and present it and he gets his yellow card.
Thank you.
Minister of Health Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng launched the mass vaccination in Lira, bringing the number of routine immunization schedules in the country to 14.
I call upon all parents, guardians, religious leaders, teachers, partners, and local government leadership to rally behind the efforts geared at eliminating yellow fever out of Uganda, as the theme says.
Nelson Muge was the first to receive the shot.
I feel so good. So no pain, no what. This vaccine has been very scarce, first of all. Then two, it was very expensive.
Districts which were vaccinated in 2016, children under 9 months, pregnant mothers and those with allergic reactions are exempted from taking this vaccine.
But should you register any side effect, our medical team that will be giving you these vaccines will give you their numbers and make sure that you call and be guided on how to be treated, because the side effects can be treated.
The eye strategy aims to protect almost 1 billion people from yellow fever in Africa and America by 2026. Since the inception of this strategy, over 226 million people have been protected from yellow fever.
The ministry has set vaccination posts at every village with a team of 5 people supporting the VHTs to ensure targeted populations are reached.
First 3 regions have a low risk and will conduct the campaign in October 2024.
Yellow fever is a viral infection that is spread to humans through a bite from a mosquito carrying the yellow fever virus. It causes fever, yellowing of the eye and bleeding from any body opening. The single shot of this vaccine protects one for a lifetime. Eddie Olwa, UBC News.
Jerry con. Jerry con. Hey, Master Blaster. Touch him, man. Bang Jerry con with muscle. Those ones who say go for you only. Mundawa. First group is I teach you. But never come with the muscari. Because of the cover that is very far. Is you serious? It's yes you. What? Yeah? You stay put on it. Add kilometers to your legs. And you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru. And Umaru refused to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru, Jerry car.
Okukakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu teri kitulema.
Magical Egypt Tour 2023 is here. A heavenly miracle waiting across the natural and divine attractions of Egypt, such as Cairo, Giza Pyramids, Saqqara, Memphis, and many more that will offer the gift of a lifetime. The chance to unlock all of the hidden powers of mind and soul, gain the enlightenment of the past and the future, and develop the power of healing. Departure will be Friday 16th up to 23rd June 2023. Basic package starting at $1,200, 8 days and 7 nights. To register, come to Gotove Tours and Travel at Nalkwego Complex Suta, UG610, George Street, Nakasero, or call +256 758 530 059 or +256 784 568 392 or WhatsApp +256 782 556 078. Only few slots are left. Powered by UBC Television.
Iwakato, this is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, stop the center.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial *100*1#. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Now let's delve into the world of business, where over 500 traders in Komangabo Kwat Zone Kawempe Division in Wakiso District who own entertainment venues are living in fear after KCCA warned them of a demolition. They allege that some rich people are colluding with KCCA and police to take their positions in the plot to demolish them.
Over 500 traders operating in Komamboga Quarter Zone in Kawempe Division, Wakiso District, are now spending sleepless nights after KCCA said that their market is to be demolished. During a meeting attended by security operators, RCC Kawempe Division, Omulangira Sulaiman Juko Walugembe, and councillors, traders complained about the way KCCA wants to demolish their market.
You cannot be in a business not displaying a shinto.
The alleged owner of Digidabba, David Kavuma, said the buildings KCCA wants to demolish have spent years in this place and they don't see any reason as to why they want to demolish them. Nelson Mwanje, one of the owners of the bars, accused the Kawempe Valley Planning Officer of being behind the move of demolishing them.
Naye okuva lwe yajja agezesaako nnyo okunyigiriza abantu olw'okubanga bw'asanga ekifo ng'olina space yo ayagala omutoso wadde kulaakulanya kusaba ploti namba bloco namba obimuwe tetumanyi ayagala kutwalako ttaka.
The chairperson of traders, Gerard Katelega, accuses some of the people who are interested in taking over this land, who are now using police officers and KCCA to harass traders.
Kubanga ate katera stiru echaze stinge gamba egenda kumenya wochi egenda kumenya business zaffe nenga ate business zebagala okumenya wakolerawo abantu basuka mu bitano abachipusi abagundi abochapuko.
Omulangira Sulaiman Juko wa Lugembe, RCC Kawempe, had this to say over this matter.
Mana abakozi mugenda kukola ekyo muzeeyi ayagala mukole era mujja ayagala mukole eggwanga buli liwo omusolo gutambuza eggwanga ekyo mujja kukola naye temukola bumenyi bw'amateeka temukola bintu bitali biki mukole bulungi temumalako bantu ddembe.
The affected traders now want the president's intervention over this issue.
Owekitiibwa President n'abakungu mwena abalumirira omuntu wa wansi tuli bantu ba wansi ate tuli balonzi twetaaga buyambi bannange bakama bange.
Bwabanga President akubiriza abantu kunoonya mirimu ng'ate ekifo kye weekiri wano ekikolerwamu abantu abasuka ebitaano ate nga tetulina gutukosa nze ndowooza KCCA yalibadde etunulamu nga madamu Idi bwajja akubiriza abantu.
Now, still in business, Uganda Revenue Authority has launched Mpa-E Receipt Yange, a digital sensitization campaign which aims at mobilizing more resources and improving revenue collection. The URA Commissioner General Johnson Masinguzi, together with the Commissioner Domestic Taxes Sarah Chelangat, presided over the launch at the URA headquarters.
Thank you, Ivan. Thank you, Richard.
The Uganda Revenue Authority has launched a new electronic receipting system codenamed Mpa, a receipt yange, geared at mobilizing more revenue through the final consumers of goods. The campaign will target especially customers in supermarkets, hardware outlets, among others. The URA Commissioner General John Musinguzi, together with the URA Commissioner Domestic Taxes Sarah Chelangat, presided over the launch at Nakawa URA headquarters.
Think big starts small. Even 1,000-kilometer journey starts with the first step. So today is our first step in launching a culture of accurate record keeping and tax compliance and accountability.
Per receipt yange on every transaction will mean that we shall be paying our tax. That VAT will go directly to government. As you consume that product, as you consume that service, what will guide your payment of the tax is this e-receipt.
Several prizes, including motorcycles, business bags, laptops, fridges, mobile phones will be given out during the countrywide campaign. The demonstration on how the system will be working.
Download the Mpa-E Receipt Yange app from the Google or iOS App Store or visit www.receiptyange.ura.go.ug to submit.
I'm Nafka Farida and Juko Collins.
This is the University of Africa. On the streets, you get your real education. Here, everybody has a degree of something. But the most important qualification is imagination. Her reason to imagine is slay. His reason is to be the GOAT. Theirs is to take the beat and make it lit. They want to test edgy till it is fire. The reason for imagination is to add riz in style. Her reason to imagine is finesse. And hers is to find what's new and bussin'. So no matter what your situation, just use your imagination.
Welcome back from that short break. The second draw for the Dubai Desert Challenge by Mandela Group of Companies has been held at the company office in Nakawa. On the same day, Mandela Group of Companies flagged off Pearl Bikes Africa with a ton of maize flour, and footballs to partake in a corporate social responsibility activity in Fort Portal and Mitiana.
Yes. 3 Ugandans have won the Mandela Group Companies raffle that earns them an all-expenses paid trip to the Desert Challenge in Dubai next November. The 3 are Joseph Akatuhuera, a call Luwero, and a taxi driver, Fred Kamyasegawa. This Desert Challenge is open to all Ugandans that either fuel or service their vehicles at any City Oilers outlet. The draws will continue till October, with 18 winners becoming the 3rd group to travel for the Desert Challenge in November.
The promotion entails we'll be able to take 18 winners for 4 nights and 3 days to Dubai for a fully paid expenses trip. And today we drew and got our 6th winner in those 2 categories. Every month we'll be picking 2 winners from the driving category and 1 person from the taxi category. And towards the end of the year, around November, we'll have the 18 people ready to go and enjoy their trip in Dubai.
Meanwhile, Mandela Group of Companies has aided Pearl Bikers Africa with a ton of maize and footballs.
We've been in partnership with this team of bikers who don't only ride for leisure, but they also ride for charity. And in the coming days, they'll be riding, visiting some schools in Kokoto and in Gayaza. So as part of their charity ride, we decided to support them with some good amounts of brochure to give to the kids from Supreme or Mandela Millers, and also footballs.
Mandela Group, etwaniride ebbanga ddene supporting obanga etiyamba gamba omulimu gwe tugezaako okukola gwa kukunga bantu, kugatta bantu, nti bw'oleeta ekikumi kyo nange nendeeta ekikumi kyange butugatta.
Now, Uganda Woodball Federation has been boosted by the institution of certified public accountants who have injected 20 million shillings into the 2023 Junior Woodball Championship.
10,000 players, 1 winner, who will walk away with a brand new car for each of the ladies, and the men, as the now Special Pool Open Championship returns. Pool Association of Uganda and now Special Breweries Limited have renewed their partnership to a tune of 300.
All roads will on 17th June lead to Amazima School in Njeru-Weikwe district, where the 13th Uganda Woodball Federation Junior Championship takes center stage.
Uganda has over 50 sports in this country. But why did we choose to introduce woodball? Because of the uniqueness of the sport. Like you know that woodball is a mind articulation sport. You see that? Very clean, as you can see, the outlook of the equipment. And we want to maintain and trickle this through the players and all our participants.
The championship has been boosted by title sponsors Institute of Certified Public Accountants that has injected 20 million Uganda shillings.
And we have committed over the years more than 100 million into this sport. And one will ask why, but as I have articulated, because it resonates with Capture Them Young, get them to articulate their mind at an early stage, get them to use their bodies at an early stage, then we are able to develop good professional talent for the country, not only in accountancy, but also in an all-rounder person in whatever sport they choose or in whatever profession they choose to commit their life.
This championship is flagship to Uganda Woodball Federation and has over the years been graced by the nation's future players. The previous edition, hosted at St. Maria Goretti Katende, attracted 888 participants, with some as young as 5.
So I would like to thank ISPAO for the partnership, for the sponsorship, and also to tell you that through your sponsorship, the junior championship has been able to grow. Colin has been taking you through the numbers every year. In fact, now we are worried if in 5 years we can get a sufficient host for the ISPAO. What? When I was in Katende last year, my goodness, it was scaring. The audience was scaring, but also very fascinating because these are the youth. If you want to build anything for success, build through the youth.
The 2023 edition is expected to have over 40 primary and post-primary institutions which earned their place after regional qualifiers. John Barnes, Sentamo, UBC News.
In pool, after 5 years with no competition, Nile Special National Pool Open Championship is back. This comes after the Pool Association and Nile Breweries agreed with a 340 million shillings package. Players will compete for 5 months before the winner is decided at Lugogo.
$10,000 players, one winner, who will walk away with a brand new car for each of the ladies, and the men, as the now Special Pool Open Championship returns. Pool Association of Uganda and now Special Breweries Limited have renewed their partnership to a tune of 340 million shillings. First will be the countrywide mini and regional qualifiers before the grand finale on the 11th November 2023 at the MTN Indoor Arena in Lugogo, Kampala. 320 qualifying centers have been organized across the country. This will culminate into 2 eventual tournament winners for each gender category, driving away in a new car each.
Zino zibadde ziyamba nnyo okulaba nga ne association nga yo esobola okubaako ku nsimbi zeefuna okuddukanyizibwa emirimu gyayo n'okubeera nga etambuza emirimu gyayo mu bulungi.
Komeo kigenda tukolera nnyo, ekyokubiri nti neetegese nnyo nti ne bandigambye nti nzire mu qualifiers mbadde yenda kuvaayo era nkomewo Lugogo ndifendinga title yange.
Nomwaka tu expecting ebintu bingi kamulaba cash price yeyongedde. So mulimu preparations nje zigenda mu.
The now Special Pool Open Championship is known for the promotion and talent identification, where winners are not only ranked but equally represent the country on the continent.
10,000 players to compete. Ooh. Into cricket, the Victoria Pals Uganda women senior cricket team has been flagged off to Kigali, Rwanda, where they will take part in the 9th edition of the Kwibuka Peace Tournament, slated for 9th to 18th June 2023. The 14 ladies squad will be seeking a 3rd Kwibuka title in this event, as they claimed the championship of the tournament before 2014 and 2016. The traveling squad that has welcomed the new players, these are Lona Anyait, Melissa Auriakot, Jamia Mohammed from the U19 team, goes into this competition with 2 back-to-back series wins already this year, and these are the Victoria Series in April and the Capricorn Series in May. The 9th edition of the Kwibuka tournament will have 5 nations hosts, and that is Rwanda, Nigeria, Botswana, Uganda and Kenya. The teams will play a single round-robin game with the top 2 sides meeting in the final. The games will be played at the iconic Gahanga Cricket Oval and the IPRC. And that brings us to the end of our bulletin. Thank you so much for being a part of us. For now, we sign out and say it's a good night.
The family of the late Jago Stephen Oruk of Adok, Agwata, Dokolo District announces the untimely passing of their son, Mr. David Patrick Obot Oruk, which occurred on the night of Friday, 2nd June 2023 at Lira Medical Center, Lira City. Church service will take place on Friday, the 9th of June 2023 at St. Luke Church of Uganda, located on the road to Buto, Bweyogerere, starting at 11 a.m. Another funeral service will be at All Saints Cathedral, Barogole, Lira City, on Thursday, the 15th of June 2023, starting at 10 a.m. Burial will take place on Saturday, the 17th of June 2023, with a funeral service commencing at 10 a.m. at Apeti B, Adok Sub-County, Dokolo District. Informed our relatives, friends and in-laws. May his soul rest in eternal peace, a celebration of a selfless service to humanity.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.